Hi, my name is Maggie Shelton, and I am an admissions coach for Admissions Geek, and I specialize with working with undergraduate admissions.
Where did you go to college? Give us your creds and your degrees and the locations.
Yeah, for sure. So I got my undergraduate degree from Western Kentucky University, and I have a bachelor's in corporate and organizational communication. And then I got my master's degree from Texas A&M, and I have a master's degree in educational administration. Basically, a big long word for I love to work with college students. So.
And what's your fondest college memory?
Ooh, that's a great question. When I was in college, I was in a sorority, and I was president of my sorority in college, and we had won this really amazing honor for philanthropic service and leadership. And I just remember that we were surprised as a chapter to win it, and it was a great memory. It was something we got to celebrate with everyone, and it was a lot of hard work to be able to get that honor. And I look back on it, I'm like, that was wild. I can't believe that happened, but yeah.
Where are you from, and where do you call home today?
Yeah, so I hail from the great city of Louisville, Kentucky, my hometown, the hometown of Muhammad Ali, but now I reside in Boulder, Colorado, and beautiful Boulder, as they say.
What's the first thing you notice about people?
I think I notice how you can make someone feel comfortable. So when I meet people for the first time, I really like to not only understand who they are, but the people that are able to connect with anyone and talk to a wall or make people feel as though they're valued and comfortable is really important to me.
What would you say is the biggest personal challenge you find yourself going through right now, especially during the global pandemic that we're experiencing?
Yeah, I think the pandemic has made a lot of people think about, what's my purpose and what do I really want to do with my life? And something that I think I'm facing right now is just trying to consistently align my purpose and my goals to what I do every day. And so not necessarily reevaluating a career, but thinking how can I be a better human for those around me, and how can I incorporate that into what I do?
What book are you reading now?
I am reading the autobiography of Malcolm X. I started it a couple weeks ago, and it seems very pressing now, especially with all the racial incidents that we have in our country. And it's really amazing to read about someone who was so progressive 40 years ago, and that some of the issues that were happening in the 1960s are still happening today.
When was the last time you cried?
In the shower the other day, mainly because I love my family so much, and I live about 1,500 miles away from them, and so sometimes I just think about my parents and my brothers, and I miss them, and the shower is always a safe space to cry.
That was my next question, is who do you miss the most?
Yeah, my dad is the greatest man I know. I always say that he has a giver soul, and he is just willing to give and give and give to anybody who needs anything. And so I think living so far away, I miss him the most, just because I miss his spirit and I miss his energy. But I call him every single day. I'm that person that calls my dad every morning. So
thank goodness for FaceTime.
Right, FaceTime saves lives.
Shifting gears, how do you take your coffee?
Cream, but no sugar, and lots of cream.
What's the best thing that happened to you this month?
My partner and I celebrated our anniversary. 1 year.
What's your best advice for your 19-year-old self?
I would say think about who you want to be in 5 or 10 years, and always try to align what you do to who you want to be in the future. And when you're 25, when you're 35, consistently think about, is this the person that I want to be? And if not, what can I do to make steps to be that person?
It's brunch. What do you eat?
So I'm a vegetarian. My favorite brunch place, I get the same thing every single time, and that's French toast.
What's something you're tired of?
Sometimes I'm tired of having to explain the issues going on in the world, and being from a more rural state, seeing things on social media or even comments from family and friends that are just frustrating, and wanting to, explain to people or help enlighten others, but also realizing realizing that that's not always my job and my role, but hoping that I can help encourage people to read up and to think about, how we can make the world a better place. But it's pretty exhausting right now.
What's one goal you're determined to achieve in your lifetime?
I want to hike Kilimanjaro. That is like my dream. It's 19,000 feet, and I want to do that so badly. I am not in shape anywhere near enough to hike Kilimanjaro, but one day, maybe that's why I moved to Colorado, to hike all the 14ers, who can know.
How do you manage stress?
I love to read, I love to walk and listen to podcasts.
What's your favorite podcast?
Recently I've been listening to a podcast on Black history.
What show are you currently binging on Netflix?
Oh, I'm such a bad Netflixer. I've recently been watching some documentaries. The most recent one I watched was Inside Bill's Mind, and it's about Bill and Melinda Gates and basically what they do with their philanthropy. And I think it's really fascinating, but I'm not very good with just TV shows.
What does it mean to you to be present?
Someone who is listening and who cares. And when I'm talking with people, especially during the pandemic, it's so easy to, fall short and not talk to people as you usually do. And so for me, I really try when I do talk to my friends and my family to make sure that I am there. I'm not on my phone scrolling, I'm not looking on the internet, but I'm listening and asking them questions and making sure that I'm checking in on them too.
What's your daily wellness ritual, or maybe like a morning routine or a nighttime thing?
Yeah, every morning I wake up and even if it's only for like 15 minutes, I go for a short walk. That way I can just move my body and I don't bring my phone, and I bring my cup of coffee or my cup of tea and I walk around the neighborhood. And it's really nice because your body gets moving and your mind gets to thinking and you're not consumed in the news.
What's your favorite place to be?
My favorite place to be is probably my hometown. Of Louisville, Kentucky. There's a lot of history there. There's really beautiful architecture there. And it's where my family is.
If you could teach one subject in school, what would it be? Yeah,
this one's a strange one. I would teach an art history class. When I was in college, I was a TA for an art class just because I found it fascinating, and I loved being able to go into museums and point out the paintings and talk to my friends about who painted it, what style was it, why was it painted this way, and I've always had a love for art, so I'd probably teach an art class, but an art history class, not a painting class, because I don't have that skill.
Tell us about someone who was a mentor to you in your college days.
Yeah, my greatest college mentor is a guy named Kenneth, and he was my advisor, but he was also my supervisor. And Kenneth had all of these sayings. We call them Kennethisms. So I trust your judgment, or don't do anything I wouldn't do, and if you do, name it after me. And he was just so funny, but he also was so amazing at fighting for you and helping you achieve the goals that you wanted to achieve. And I've never met someone in my entire life that believes in me more than I have with him. And I knew that whenever I had a problem, or when I was going through something, or if I wanted to get somewhere, go somewhere, or achieve something, he always had my back. And even to this day, I just can't say enough about how impactful that was for me. So shout out to Kenneth Johnson. He's a 5-star human.
What type of advice do you like to give to incoming freshmen, like who are just starting college? What would you say to them?
Yeah, I think I would say it's so important to focus on school, but also to focus on the person that you want to be, and what can you do in college to help you be that person. So I always tell college students, like, try to get involved, try to find passion and interest areas that you're excited about, and don't be afraid to just jump right in and see if you can get involved in something. So if you're passionate about the social justice movement, there are tons of organizations on campus. If you want to be in a sorority and take on a leadership role, go for it. If you see something that you want to do, college is the time to try it out and to open your mindset and to think bigger, and go for it.
Awesome. Thank you, Maggie. It was so great to get to know you.
Thanks. Nice to meet you all.